News exclusive. They say they are living in fear, terrorized by a group of kids that comes to their building in the Bronx night after night. And these senior citizens say it's gotten so bad, they're afraid to come out after dark. Eyewitness News reporter Lucy Yang has the story from the Morrisania section.
Look in my eyes. I have not slept.
67-year-old Miriam Cintron and her neighbors live in a state of fear. They claim large gangs of young teens have been terrorizing their apartment building in the Bronx all summer, and it's getting worse.
They came at us. They beat us. They broke that stick from that tree there to beat us with the wood. We don't have nobody.
Miriam says they broke the pole from the tree well and turned it into a weapon Saturday night as she fell victim to their violence.
They were kicking me in my side. They were kicking me on this side. They was punching me in my back, trying to get my face, but I covered.
63-year-old Nydia Carrero says a group of young girls the same night slammed her to the sidewalk, dragged her and pummeled her after she refused them entry into her building.
They wanted to hang out in the hallways and mess up the building. They go in there with bikes in there half the time.
This is 1294 and 1295 East 169th Street in the Morrisania section of the Bronx. Most of the tenants here are elderly. They tell me they are being swarmed, beaten, and robbed by ruthless teens who have turned their apartment building into an oasis of lawlessness and who apparently count on their youth to spare them. As the adolescents escalate the violence night after night, residents are left bruised and traumatized.
It's a shame. And they are telling us they're going to come back and burn the building down? It's ridiculous.
Many tenants have lived here for decades and they take care of each other, but they concede they are no match for this nightmare, which has claimed their peace.
Hello guys, and good afternoon. As you can see, the tragedy and hell that these people are facing in their own cities thanks to democratic policies under the front of the police. These people are getting beaten, potentially even killed, and this is a huge problem. Why, honestly, it makes me kind of surprised on why people would still want to vote for these policies. But again, even though I do have some form of sympathy for them, I also don't. Because you are also the same people that vote for these things, and this is what happens. You vote for these people, for these democratic people, and you cause these issues upon yourself. If you want to change these things, you need to vote differently. Again, it all comes down to personal accountability, and the only way you can fix things and go about your way is to, maybe vote differently. This is your fault. You caused these problems, and the only way that it could possibly be fixed is if you vote differently and see different aspects. But until you do, you will consistently and always have this problem, regardless of the situation, and that is your fault. So that's my point. Is that I'm tired of really caring about people like this when they vote for things and they get their own issues that they caused. Then if they move, they also vote the same way and still wonder why their place goes to shit after like a few years. It's because the way you're voting is the issue, and I have no desire to really feel a lot of sympathy for those people that vote for like this. Because, they're obviously in fucking New York. So, obviously, they're going to have all the issues there that they voted for. Granted, I don't know who these people voted for, honestly. So, that's why I can feel some kind of sympathy. Because I don't know who they vote for. And all that. So, yeah. That's one reason why I only feel some type of sympathy. Other than that, if I do know who they voted for, sympathy goes away immediately. And this is another case of single mothers, right? Single mother households have all this type of negative issues that nobody ever wants to talk about. I mean, we talk about it, right? We'll say like, single mother households, but we don't really show the real backstory or the real background of the actual problem on like how the actual legitimate system is so against men and how often we go and say how the system is always protecting women, how the system is always trying to make women be able to have children with no issues at all, how the system makes sure they're paid for having children. The more children they have, the more money they get paid. So the more time they get sit on their ass and do nothing. There will point where they can continually keep having sex and then have pills and not take personal responsibility. And we don't blame them for not taking responsibility. We just say like, oh, single mother households, yeah. And then what you would go and do is that you go blame the man, even though the woman has full power on being able to abort or keep that kid. That is just reality, and that is truth. And that's the they want to say it. They say it, but they don't say the real thing out loud. They don't say the true meaning of the reason why, on what's been going on. We don't look at like, oh, maybe we should make more women accountable. Maybe we should make it to where women just don't get handouts for having children. Maybe we should just make it to where paternity fraud is fixed to where you had to have a full-on paternity test. All these things that are come to relation actually is what's causing the single mother household. On top of saying, you go girl, you can be a single mother and won't be no problem. And guess what we're having? It's not just the actual system in general, right? It's not just the system in general to where defund the police, but it's also the fact that other than all, the single mother households are causing all the issues, and we're not doing this. And women get 80% of custody, by the way. So I don't want to hear none of that bullshit where, oh, the guy gets to see him. Yeah, the guy gets to see him maybe for the summer or whatever. Yeah, of course they do, because that's the only thing the men get, and they're lucky if they get that. Now we're going to go into this article here explaining exactly what's going on. Defund the police. Representative Bowman sees 30% violent crime spike in northern Bronx. This is a system this cruel and inhumane can't be reformed. Defund the police and defund the system that's terrorizing our communities, Bowman tweeted the month after his election on December 29th, 2020. Republicans want to defund every government program except for those that actively terrorize black and brown people, he tweeted, April 19th, 2021. It's time to disarm the police in October 2019. Since taking office, Bowman has seen violent crime on the rise in the northern Bronx region of the 16th Congressional District, which includes the suburbs Subiton, Duval, Woodlawn, East Chester Heights, and Co-op City neighborhoods of the New York City borough. According to the New York City Police Department's crime map, Bowman's district encompasses all or part of precincts 45, 47, and 50 in the Bronx. Every week, the NYPD publishes statistics regarding the 7 major crime categories in each precinct, which includes murder, rape, robbery, felonious assault, burglary, grand larceny, and grand larceny auto. Fox News Digital took the total number of violent crimes reported in those precincts so far this year, 3,396, and compared it to the total number last year, 2,609, according to the NYPD's August through August 8th report. The analysis found that violent crime is up roughly 30% overall in northern Bronx, compared to last year, with the biggest uptick occurring in Precinct 50 with a 74% increase. That precinct, which includes the neighborhoods of Spuyten Duyvil, I don't know how to pronounce some of these words, man, Fieldston, and Riverdale, also recorded a 123.5% increase in robberies and a 150% increase in grand larceny auto since last year. Other parts of Bowman's district are also experiencing an uptick in violent crime. The much less populated city of Mount Vernon, for instance, has seen 39.4% increase so far this year, completed to 2021, with a 20.7% jump in robberies and 21.7% increase in burglaries. Small cities in Bowman's district like New Rochelle and Rye don't report as up-to-date information as New York City, but reported a nominal decrease in some violent crimes between 2020 and 2021. In New Rochelle, violent crime was mostly down except for rape and burglary, which both increased. Rye burglaries were down, but assaults remained the same during that time. Paul Moreau, a retired NYPD inspector, penned an op-ed for Fox News Digital on August 8th that similarly examined the district of Ocasio-Cortez, which shares Precinct 45 in the Bronx with Bowman. Moreau noted that during the George Floyd arrest of 2020, Ocasio-Cortez complained that a proposed budget cut of $1 billion to NYPD's annual budget didn't go far enough, and that defunding the police means defunding police. That then Mayor de Blasio would wound up signing the fiscal year 2021 budget in 2020, cutting about $280 million, or 6.8% from the NYPD to 4.2 billion, city and state reported. The fiscal year 2022 budget saw a slight increase to 5.4 billion for the NYPD and another increase to 5.53 billion in the 2023 budget, which was adopted in June, the publication said. I stand with the movement demanding a real 1 billion cut to the NYPD, reallocating resources to public health and social safety net. We don't need to hire more police. Bowman tweeted in July 2020, let's keep building power and organizing to transform our communities. Despite reported calling for the defunding of police and calling the system cruel and inhumane, Bowman requested police protection at his Yonkers home days after the January 6th Capitol attack. About a week after the January 6th incident at the Capitol, we received a request from the Congressman's office for increased police violence at his residence. Yonkers Police Department Detective Lieutenant Dean what the hell is that type of name? Told the New York Post in response, our intelligence unit was notified of the request and the local precinct instituted what is called a directed patrol at the Congressman's home for the next 2 weeks. Bowman's office is not responsible for the official request for comment. Yeah. So yeah, again, a lot of these issues are also, I would say, the New York's issues with defunding the police. But that's not just the case though, too, guys. As I said, they're saying about all this, but again, it all goes down to single mother homes and other issues that are also a main contributor. You wouldn't be having these main issues if we actually fix the single mother home issue. And we need to go deeper into the single mother home issue rather than just, the surface. The single mother home issue, okay, yeah, that's the surface, alright? We see the surface. But let's go deeper down below and see what the real issue is. Because we all know what the real issue is. But nobody wants to talk about it. No Republican, no Democrat. And that's what's disgusting. And in order to fix this, we need to fix the single mother household and the other issues that are also coming up, because there are a huge amount of problems in that area. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.